What lessons can we learn from Ben Franklin?
Yeah, Franklin's life is the best lesson. Franklin was such, I almost slipped into Pittsburgh profanity, but I won't. I mean, Franklin was not a morally nice human being in any way. In fact, his son broke off contact with him and never spoke to him again for 40 years for the rest of their life. So Franklin was the ultimate pragmatist. He masqueraded as a Quaker, even though he had no ties whatsoever. The French who financed the revolution talked about this marvelous Quaker. I mean, he was like a national sensation over there. And he didn't disguise in his dress. I mean, he camouflaged himself sort of. He always walked a line where he could justify what he was doing. But his life is evidence from a huge, they're probably a lower middle class family, a candle maker. They always had food on the table. But his autobiography is worth its weight in gold many times because he explains how you can introduce the highest level curriculum imaginable to 10, 11-year-old people. That his father, who had no touch with, scholastic theory, would bring in every night a stranger from the street, set an extra place at table so that the, in-house culture could be infused with fresh input there. That he and his friends decided that without mastering high-level written prose, their opportunity, I mean, he's 11 years old, and they say, how are we going to get a big-time literary style when nobody, they take the New Yorker magazine of the day, the Tatler and the Spectator, read by only the most hoity-toity, and they rewrote the articles in their own words and then would present the rewrite to strangers and say, pardon me, sir, could you tell me where this article might have come from? And when everyone said, oh, that's Tatler or Spectator, they knew they had mastered that. Come on, they wouldn't do that at Harvard, Yale, and Princeton. These are 11, 12-year-old boys. And he's doing it while he's working a 60-hour week at labor. And he's putting capital aside for his own business by selling beer to the printers at their lunch hour. How does he get to do that? Goes to the owner of the print shop and he says, look, you're letting these guys go for lunch. Some of them are coming back woozy. Some of them are not coming back at all. Let me bring the buckets of beer in, make a penny, and they'll be chained to the machine. That's Ben Franklin, mind you. So his accomplishments, I mean, he's the reason we have a post office. He's the reason there's a University of Pennsylvania. He's probably the reason the German isn't a coeval in Pennsylvania, because all these little German pietist groups were not speaking English any more than they could get by with, and he found ways to put political pressure and penalties on them if their kids weren't surrendered to English training. No, he's a miraculous example of what nobody can do if they know what to do and have some discipline, mind you. I would say nobody should not read Franklin's autobiography very, very slowly. Do not read it for the story, but for the details. And you have a formula that anybody could use. So there's for Ben Franklin.